So here's a quick tour of my part shade hydrangea garden. That was the original idea when I laid out this bed. This was one of my first beds that I installed after moving here last January. So starting over here alongside the shed is a carpet of Hydrangea, chocolate chip, and other types of Hydrangea varieties. So it's a thick carpet, and that's just how Hydrangea grows. It's very thick, and it's a steppable, so it can take some foot traffic. It's my hard old feet. So it can definitely take some feet traffic. And it's interspersed or interplanted with creeping jenny. All right. So back there, I have ghost fern and heuchera on this side of the bed, and the pathway is all creeping jenny. All right, and that was the whole idea. And here's the end of the ghost fern, and these are two Empress Wu hosta. All right, and there's a climbing rose. I forgot the name of it, but it's definitely a part shade tolerant climbing rose. A bunch of Tennessee ostrich fern, which get about 4 to 5 feet. They'll be about as tall as this fence at full maturity. And here is an Annabelle that's in here on its second season. So Annabelles tend to flop a lot, as you can see the front of that. And it's also attributed to how it was pruned. Usually the first 2 seasons, I kind of like to let things do their thing, and I just prune out anything that's dead or diseased. So and here's a look at the front of the border. All right, so back to the back of the border. Again, I still have more Tennessee ostrich ferns, which are so beautiful. And here's the lamium ground cover intertwined with the creeping jenny. I gotta do some maintenance over here. Look at this. Tree branches. Oh. So right here is a another PG hydrangea that I was telling you guys about in the last video. This is a pinky winky, and you can see the conical shaped blooms. So this one here is supposed to get about 8 to 9 feet tall and wide, so it's going to take up this whole area. Look at that dog vomit. All this rain that we've been getting this past season has created a condition that is prime for fungus. So a lot of folks are seeing a lot of fungus in their mulch. Not pretty at all. Anyway, this is an Alice hydrangea. It only gave me 1 bloom. There it is, which is obviously spent. And there's a 9 bark. I tell you, this bed had looked so much different probably 2 months ago. So there's an Hydrangea, or what you call that, a thuja or thuya. Me and my pronunciations. That's a thuya arborvitae. They get really big, so they'll surpass the height of this fence, which is 6 feet. So it'll probably be like 12 feet at maturity. And right here is I think it's called Persian something catmint. Very compact, round, and tidy catmint, not like the Walker's Low. So all of my coneflower, with all of this heavy rains we've been getting lately and wind, my coneflower needed to get staked. It looks atrocious. And here's another Alice oak leaf hydrangea, obviously because the leaves resemble an oak leaf, plain and simple. So you can see the theme here. There's a lot of hydrangeas. Here's some ruby slippers. I got 1, 2, and 3, and dead smack in the middle is this beautiful elephant ear. I mean, it's ridiculous how huge these leaves are. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's rightfully called an elephant ear because it is massive. This right here is a 8x11 sheet of paper. Look at that. Look at that. So it's clearly about 2 feet from top to bottom and over a foot across. Massive. So it's a great contrast. My whole point in putting this elephant ear dead smack here in the hydrangea garden is a contrast of the leaf textures. That's massive, and compare it to the leaves of these autumn fern. Autumn brilliance, which is beautiful, by the way. Stark contrast, right? And right here I have a grouping of September charm, Japanese anemones. Clearly I haven't been watering them enough, but they're gonna produce some pretty light pink flowers on 2 feet stalks, flower heads, this coming fall. And here's the other side of this Ajuga chocolate chip rich carpet right here. Isn't that beautiful? All the Japanese forest grass contrasted with the dark leaves of the Ajuga. Beautiful composition. And then you've got the creeping Jenny nearby. And those ferns right there are actually cinnamon ferns. And these are autumn brilliants, autumn ferns. And towards the front, I have a small grouping of Christmas ferns that I need to water. Probably 6 or 7 of them. So this was just a quick glance at my part shade initial garden bed that I installed. And at the very front, let's see if I can get a good close-up on these because it's really bright over here. These winter green boxwood that flows and emulates the curves of this bed. And that's a beautiful David Austin rose right here. And look at this. I've got so many Japanese beetles. It's not even funny. I'm steadily picking them. And all they do is copulate. I mean, that's all they're doing. Copulating and chomping on your roses. So anyhow, thanks for tuning in. Like I said, a garden is a journey. And it's a work in progress. And stay tuned for the next video. See you soon.